Welcome back to another Alliance War video, the first Alliance War of Season 19, and For Loki is going up against none other than OMNI, the creators of the Omniverse. This is the first Alliance War that I've commentated on in a long time, but I'm still taking in a relatively familiar team with Omega Red, Sabretooth, and Void, just like the good old days. Gonna go ahead and pop on some boost before I begin. Gonna go ahead and use a 20% champion boost along with a 15% health boost. Didn't think I needed any attack boost here, so go ahead and skimp on that one a little bit while I can. And the first opponent is gonna be Mole Man. Now OMNI, they picked Flow for the defensive tactics. No surprise here, Flow still pretty annoying, but it only affects control champions, hashtag control champions. And if we look at the hashtags here for Mole Man, he is not a control champion, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, something that I should have maybe taken a little bit more care with is refamiliarizing myself with exactly how Mole Man works. I fought Mole Man so many times during the Mole Man Expedition event that, you know, I thought I was still completely comfortable with fighting him, but you can see there I get hit with the special one. I totally forgot that there was even that shock component of the special one. I just thought it was some melee animation that I could just dash back on. I totally forgot that I can't just attack into his block, otherwise he goes unstoppable. This is a pretty rough first fight, man. Mole Man should be a very easy defender on this node. The fact that I made two mistakes like that could have cost me a lot more than they did. Yeah, it's kind of a wake-up call. Like, all right, man, we need to take this war stuff more seriously. Because, you know, at the end of the day, even if I make it through the fight, of course, that cost me potions, and nobody wants to be using potions, right? All right, anyway, we're going up against this next fight, up against Blade, who is also not a control champion. So again, don't have to worry about Flow. And we have the Matador node. Matador is the only one that really matters. Power Bond, I'm not really using power control ability, so it doesn't matter. So Matador, I only gain power when the opponent uses their specials. And I'm not really too concerned about using specials, to be honest. I just want to stay close to the opponent, get my spores stacked up. I'm being cautious of the fact that Blade is going to be shrugging off debuffs much more quickly than most champions, and it seemed like the opponent had Limber as well, so I have to watch out for that. Now here I tried to do a 5-hit combo into special 1, but I popped the special 1 a little bit too early, which was kind of unfortunate because that would have for sure ended the fight. But because he was blocking my special 1, he ended up healing enough to survive, and luckily he didn't punish me for it, but it's still annoying. Still a little bit of health loss from recoil and stuff like that. All right, that was path 7, by the way. Moving on to section 2, and now I'm on path number 6. And the first opponent here is Longshot. I actually had to back out, regain some energy. Gonna go ahead and reboost right now as well. Now the defenders on this path also didn't seem like anything too crazy, so once again just pop on a little bit of a health and champion boost, and I make a classic mistake here. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I have plenty of health to fight this guy. I'm only using Omega Red for one more fight, and then I'm going to be using Void for the next one, so you know, I'm not even going to heal up. And then I take a closer look at my Omega Red's health, and I realize, oh, this is Rage, and Rage means that the opponent, they could start hitting pretty hard. Well, I should have healed before boosting, but as it stands, I lose a tiny bit of value here by boosting first and then healing up after, but whatever. What are you going to do, man? Chalk it up to yet another just kind of first time back in the whole war experience, and shaking off a little bit of rust. So this fight, again, I'm just trying to kind of slow play it, stack my spores. I'm really hoping that I don't land critical hits, especially on my heavy attacks. This way I don't trigger the Rage node, and everything will be good. Fade the L1 and just keep the heavy spam going. I'm going to get myself to a special 2 in a minute here with one more heavy attack just to extend that debuff. And then I'll go ahead and slap him with the special 2 with the tentacle hits, and lights out. Longshot, not too difficult of a fight at all. All right, moving on to Torch. Now this fight I make, you know, I've been making mistakes up until this point, little mistakes that haven't really cost me too much, but in this fight, I make a big mistake. So this node has the Power Focus 2. This is also not a control defender, so I don't have to worry about flow, but it is Power Focus 2, which means the opponent gains 60% increased power while below 2 bars of power. But when he's above 2 bars of power, then he's really not gaining much for power at all. So the first mistake that I make, there's about 3 or so in total in this fight. The first mistake I make is I'm baiting out a special here instead of just really hammering home the, you know, just getting my attacks in. I'm trying to bait out the special like an idiot, because you're going to see here in just a moment that I'm going to get him to 2 bars of power, and then I'm just going to fight him, and if he throws a special, cool, I'll get out of the way. But if not, that's fine too. I'm going to be doing lots of damage. Actually, here's another mistake. I mistakenly dashed back on the final hit of the L1 when I should have just stood there and blocked the whole thing. But yeah, you can see he has 2 bars of power, and now he's gaining practically no power at all. So I'm just getting my attacks in, doing my thing. Unfortunately, I do not have the Despair Mastery right now. Otherwise, I would have reduced his healing a bit more. And, well, that would have saved me here. Because I actually do end up dying in just a minute, you're going to see. Now, I'm getting cornered, and I'm still fine. I have no fear whatsoever, because I know I can pop my special 3, and the opponent's not going to gain much power from this. But watch what happens afterwards. I'm thinking he's so low, and I have debuffs on him, and I'll just let the debuffs finish it. So I do that whole thing where I'm just swiping back, man. I'm just dashing back. I'm letting the debuffs do their thing. I thought I can outrange the special 2 for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. Just chalk it up to inexperience fighting Torch in recent times here, I guess, and not making, I didn't practice beforehand. And yeah, that's definitely a mistake. I'm gonna have to do a lot better going forward. I go in with Omega Red and finish it, but that was actually my last fight of the war. Not the most interesting fights, and I still end up taking a loss. I felt so bad about that, because there's way more difficult fights out there that people are getting through without dying, and here I am on an easy node, something that should not cost a death for the entire season on that node, or at least with that particular matchup. Maybe it'll be more difficult with other defenders, I'm sure, but yeah, it just shouldn't have happened. So I was pretty bummed about that, but hey, at least it is a little bit of a wake-up call. The mistakes that happened during this war, I could have avoided them had I just taken the time, put more effort into it, and going forward, I will do that. So I do plan on uploading all of the war seasons, all of the wars for this season, and at the end of the season, take a look at these rewards, man. They buffed the rewards for the Master bracket. I mean, they buffed them not just for Masters, but that's where I'm expecting us to land, hopefully. If not higher, but we've only placed higher than we've only hit the top 3 once. So yeah, it's kind of expected that we'll probably fall into the Masters bracket, and that will be a whole lot of shards to get to open at the end of the season. So yeah, man, pretty excited for that. Not to mention the class catalyst fragment crystals that will potentially allow me to rank up some of these champions that I can hopefully pull out of the all the 6-star shards and stuff. So yeah, it'll be pretty exciting, and hopefully my next war will be a whole lot better, as this one was a bit of a mess. But we are starting off the season 1-0, so we've got a good start to it. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Good war to the folks over in OMNI, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.